All right, Casey. 1-1 weekend, a win at Ohio to open up the weekend, and then a 1-0 defeat to Kent State at home on Sunday. Talk about both those games. What you saw from your team on Thursday and then on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the weekend, a little bit of ups and downs. Coming off a really big high on Thursday, I think the dramatic way that game finished was something that was really special for the girls. I think we saw a lot of leadership, and those kind of moments mean a lot to a team moving forward, because when you're down late in the game and you have the resolve to come back and win it in that fashion, you take a lot of confidence from it. I think on Sunday it was I think it was a very even match. I think we were I think it was a bit unjust to have a loss at home to Kent, even though they're a good side. But you know what, you got to take it on the chin, and it's a quick turnaround to a really important MAC weekend ahead of us. But it's unfortunate. Sometimes you're on the other side of those games, and you just got to take it.
Kind of playing a top team in the MAC like Kent, what were your big takeaways from it, your team's performance?
Well, I think the most important thing that the coaching staff and the girls can probably take away from the game is that you're going against the reigning MAC champion, and you went toe-to-toe with them for the entirety of it. I think we conceded, a pretty tough goal. I think ultimately it was an own goal, but I think we battled them for the entire time, and I think that game obviously could have gone the other way. I think a tie would probably be fair, but when you head into a postseason, you want to know that you can play against the top teams and win those games, and I think we could have easily.
Also in the game, you only gave Kent State only had 10 shots in the whole game and only 2 shots on goal. Was the defense's performance, was it a strong side for you, or was it something that even with the conceded goal you saw areas of improvement?
I think Sunday games are always tough. Game becomes a little bit monotonous. A little bit tired. Some of the girls and leggy because they log a lot of minutes on Thursday, but. I think you saw the game against Kent. It was played between the two 18s. I think a lot was played, in that midfield third, and I think the threat from a lot of their opportunities was not the greatest. I think that they lacked in really a lot of major goal-scoring opportunities. And, for us, I think there's always things that you could tidy up on the defensive side of things. I think if we give up those opportunities again, I'd maybe say that we're okay with it. Because we've also generated good opportunities on the opposite side of things that we'd like to have back. If given the same opportunities for us, I think we'll take it. But there's always things that we can tidy up.
My next question is for Georgina. What was your thoughts on the D-line's performance during the game?
I thought we did well on Sunday against Kent. They had a lot of good forwards, good midfielders moving forward, so I think just we've been getting better as a unit together. We've gotten a lot more comfortable playing with each other. So I think just our confidence is just keeps going up, and we're just excited to get back at it next weekend.
How do you feel the D's performance been in conference play so far?
I think we've done pretty well so far. We're fairly new. The 4 of us just started playing together as a back line this year, so I think we meshed together really well, and we've been just doing well with our opportunities and taking what we're learning from the coaches and just putting all the pieces together.
What has been your biggest improvement as a back line, growing from, like you said, you just started playing together? What have you guys improved on the most, to this point in the season with 5 games left in the season?
I think we've just being more comfortable playing with each other, communicating, knowing how we play best with each other. I think that's one of the main things that's gotten us to where we've been now and how we're playing now.
Casey, what impresses you the most about Georgina's play and how she's improved from freshman year to sophomore year?
Yeah, I mean, I think you need difference makers out on the field, and I think Georgina provides that for us. I think leadership is important. I think that she's grown into that role. It's tough to come in as a freshman and really be a leader and then, give it a year, and she's kind of grown into that role. It is a younger back line, and you see 2 of the rocks of that are sophomores. And that's important because you need big personalities back there. You need organizers. I think Regina's taken a lot of that on her shoulders, and it's important.
Kind of also speak on the leadership role. Regina, how do you feel you've been kind of doing it, like fulfilling it with other members on the team?
I think last year as a freshman I was a bit more timid, but as I've gotten more comfortable playing, I've gained a lot of confidence and leadership, and I think, like Casey said, I take a lot of the backline's leadership on my shoulders, and just controlling it back there. It's what I like to do. It's what I do best. So I think just gaining confidence from last year and this year, it's been good for me.
Where's your confidence at with the backline currently? How do you feel about it?
Very confident in our backline. We're always talking, always trying to be on the same page, and I think as the season's progressed, we've gotten a lot better at that, and it's exciting to see because we can do great things back there, and as long as we stay steady in the back, we know we can help our teammates out moving forward.
With 5 games left, conference slate before the playoffs begin, what are you looking to improve on, over these last 5 games? What are you looking for from your team over these last 5 games to really propel yourself into the playoffs? Hopefully you have a home playoff game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things you stress over a season is consistency of performance. And it's tough when you have 2 games in the span of a few days. It's tough to produce that on a Sunday, especially when you're tired. But I think having consistent performances down the stretch here, being disciplined defensively, I know that's kind of been a theme right now of a lot of the questions. But having that discipline and then taking our opportunities. Because, some games you're not going to be granted the same opportunities that you get in others. I think that we saw the importance in a game against Kent. Our opportunities were very early in the game. Can we take those opportunities? And the game looks a little different. So I think being disciplined defensively, taking our opportunities, and just having consistent performances.
Speaking on consistency, obviously with the 5 games left as well, how do you see the team as they are now compared to earlier in the season? Do you feel they're ready to really take home these 5 games, or do you still see areas of improvement?
Yeah, I honestly think that we're growing every game. I think Sean frequently says that this team is growing, and they are. Even the back line, it wasn't perfect at the beginning. You had different faces, and it's starting to produce more and more, consistent performances. It makes it difficult, too, because, much like all the other teams in the MAC, I'm sure, you deal with injuries that change the faces a bit. So I think kind of moving forward, that's something that we're going to have to be able to deal with, and that just throws a wrinkle into things a bit. But there's a lot of performances now that have given us confidence, and you have players off the bench that could be thrust into a greater role as well.
Would you say a lot of that confidence has come with the team's solid performance in conference so far?
Yeah, I think that, when you look at the Ohio game and the way that you had a team back against the wall and some of the performances there that really just show you that, maybe when you're down and out, you have players that are going to pick it up and just change things for you. So I think as a team, as a coaching staff, that's what gives you confidence. Players that are going to take it by the scruff of the neck and just change it.
Do you guys have some confidence going into these 2 road matches this weekend, knowing that you've won 3 straight on the road, and it's a little bit different of a feeling on the road now that you guys have been successful?
Yeah, a little bit different than last year, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
No, absolutely. I think that when you head on the road, you kind of get away from campus life and things here at home and really dial in and focus. Absolutely. We've gotten results on the road. We show that we're capable. I think Toledo and Bowling Green will absolutely present a very tough test. But I think we're ready for it. I think we're capable. And, yeah, I don't think the road has anything to do with our performances this year, as we've shown.
Regina, given that you played on last year's team as well, what have been a lot of the big changes you feel that has made this team successful in away games?
I think just knowing that we needed to improve a lot from our away performances last year just kind of set a target for us to not want that to be what happened this year as well. I think we wanted to do a lot better than we did last year, and I think we've done that now. We've won, like Louis said, 3 straight road games, and I think that's given us a lot of confidence when we come back at home and play as well.
Your thoughts on the upcoming weekend?
I'm excited. I feel like the team's ready to get back at it. In the final stretch of the season, we know that this is like crunch time before the playoffs start, so we gotta just play how we know how to perform and just get the results this weekend.
At the moment currently, and this question can works for both of you, where do you feel the team stacks up compared to others in the MAC?
Well, I honestly, you look at the result against Kent, and if you watch that game, I think it's a very even game. So you use that as a barometer to know where you're at, because they're, kind of flying towards the top right now. I think our early result against Western, we can take a lot of confidence out of that because the Western is a good team. I think it's very leveled off as far as competition, game to game. I think that there's a lot of teams last year changing and this year performing a little bit better, where all of a sudden every game, the importance of meeting the level of the team that you're playing on that very day is so important this year. And we have a couple tough ones outside of this weekend. You have Ball State at home. That's going to be an important one. That'll be another good barometer. So we have a few more tests, but again, consistency of performance moving forward is really important for this group.
I like to think we're pretty closer to the top, I'd say, than anything else. But just like Coach Casey said, we had a great game against Western. We were pretty even with Kent, so I feel like just being able to stick with the top teams that have been in the top the past couple of years, we know that we can play with them, and we know we can beat them on any given day. It can be any team's game.
Good.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, guys.